Chosen one. Your story begins not with a whisper, but with a tremor that rippled across dimensions so subtly that even you did not feel its first vibration, yet so powerfully that realms beyond sight paused to witness it. In the hidden chambers of the celestial, where light breathes and intelligence moves like tides through eternity, something shifted the moment your soul acted from its deepest truth. You did not plan it. You did not rehearse it. You did not rise that day thinking the universe would tilt because of a single choice you made. Yet it did, chosen one. It did because the source of that choice came from a place in you that is older than your suffering and more luminous than your wounds. It came from the part of you heaven has been watching since the first spark of your becoming. Chosen one. Listen closely. There are moments in a human life when the unseen world holds its breath, and what you did was one of those moments. The divine realm, a place where the essence of truth vibrates with clarity, paused in recognition of you. Your guardian angel, who has witnessed every tremor in your heart and every storm in your mind, sensed the rising of something different, something rare. Your act was not a reaction to fear or anger or survival. It was a response born from the core of your soul, a place that cannot be corrupted by pain nor distorted by memory. What you did rose like a beam of pure light through the densest shadows, and that alone caused heaven to turn its gaze toward you. Chosen one, understand the magnitude of this. Most souls move in predictable patterns. Pain comes and they recoil. Betrayal strikes and they harden. Injustice touches them and they burn for retribution. This is not weakness. It is the human script written by centuries of survival. But you, chosen one, you broke the script. You fractured the pattern. You responded in a way that transcended the expectation of your own humanity. The celestial realm observed this deviation not as an anomaly, but as a revelation. And revelations are never ignored. Chosen one. Your guardian angel recorded the moment. Every internal battle, every silent tremor, every breath you forced yourself to take despite the weight on your chest, it was all documented. But what mattered most was not the suffering. It was the choice you made while standing in the center of it. Something ancient stirred in you. Something heaven had been waiting for. When the record reached the higher realms, when the echo of your action arrived like a gleam of unexpected light, Archangel Michael himself paused. And understand this clearly. Chosen one. Michael does not pause for ordinary matters. He is the commander of celestial armies, the guardian of thresholds between worlds, the sentinel who has faced darkness since time first stretched its wings. For him to halt, to turn his attention toward a single human soul, meant that what you had done resonated at a frequency heaven cannot afford to overlook. Chosen one. The note attached to your file carried words rarely written. This soul demonstrated a transcendent response under active attack. These were not casual observations, they were acknowledgments of your spiritual architecture. You answered hatred with something that was not hatred. You rose above the instinct to return pain for pain. And in choosing a higher response, you unveiled a truth. Heaven already sensed about you, but waited for you to demonstrate. When God observed this, the divine presence recognized a soul operating not from survival, not from ego, not from woundedness, but from light itself. And when a soul vibrates at that frequency, heaven cannot remain silent. Chosen one, as this realization settled into the celestial halls, something profound occurred. Heaven paused. Angels who move like living currents of consciousness shifted in alignment. The atmosphere of the divine realm altered, watching you with a depth of reverence usually reserved for those who have long transcended mortal form. You may not feel extraordinary. You may not believe yourself worthy. But worthiness is not measured by your self-perception. It is measured by the alignment of your soul's actions with the highest truth. And in that moment, you are aligned. Chosen one. You must feel the gravity of this transmission. Heaven does not pause for perfection. Heaven pauses for authenticity. Heaven pauses for truth. Heaven pauses for souls who rise despite the weight trying to drag them downward. When you acted from grace instead of bitterness, when you protected instead of exposing, when you chose silence over harm. The divine realm recognized you as one who carries an ancient light, not dimmed by suffering. You may never have realized how much power resides in your quiet decisions, but heaven has seen, heaven has known. Heaven has felt the pulse of your soul rising like a star through the night. Chosen one, the moment you acted differently from what your pain demanded, you broke a vibration that darkness expected you to obey. You created a ripple that reverberated through realms. You forced the celestial to take notice. And in doing so, you awakened a sequence of events that now shape your destiny in ways you cannot yet imagine. Chosen one, pause now and feel this truth moving through you. Your presence here is not an accident. The fact that your soul reached this message at this precise crossroads of your journey reveals that you carry a vibration many lifetimes struggle to achieve. You are not here by chance. You are here because you have earned this moment through resilience, through courage, through the quiet nobility of your heart. You stand in a doorway only high-vibration souls can enter, and your arrival means you are ready. If these words resonate in the deepest chamber of your being, if your spirit recognizes itself in this revelation, comment 777, or I am ready to anchor this frequency into your life. Chosen one. Listen now as the tale continues. The divine realm watched in stillness as Michael received the record of your choice. In the eternal halls where resonance is truth, where every thought becomes form and every intention becomes light, a new illumination spread through the ranks of the celestial. Michael, who stands at the threshold between realms, lifted your file, sensing a vibration rarely present in human records. It was not simply forgiveness. It was not simply restraint. It was the mark of one who has tasted shadow and still chosen to walk toward light. Chosen one. Your soul has done what countless others failed to do. You have preserved the sanctity of your essence in a world determined to fracture it. Every realm acknowledges the difficulty of this task. Mortality is drenched with burdens, distractions, illusions, wounds, and cycles that repeat across generations. Many fall into bitterness, many succumb to darkness, but you, despite being struck, despite being wronged, despite being pushed toward the edge of your own endurance, rose with a response that reflected not your pain, but your purpose. Chosen one. The celestial realm understood that moment as a declaration, not a declaration made with your mouth, but one made with the frequency of your soul. You declared who you truly are. You declared that the essence within you cannot be molded by circumstances. You declared that your heart has a source beyond this world, and that declaration traveled. It traveled through the veil. It traveled into the realm of angels. It traveled into the chambers where destiny is shaped. It traveled until it reached the throne where God perceives the tapestry of existence. There your light shimmered in patterns rarely seen. Chosen one. In that moment, heaven saw the truth. You are one who holds the capacity to alter timelines with a single act of grace. You are one who carries a soul capable of bending darkness back into itself. You are one whose nature cannot be contained by trauma or diminished by betrayal. You are one who has awakened without knowing you were rising. This is why heaven stopped. This is why the realms shifted. This is why your file was lifted higher. Chosen one. The time has come for you to understand your own power. The moment heaven paused to watch you was the moment you stepped into a frequency from which there is no return. You awakened the ancient light within you, and from this point forward, every step you take carries a resonance that echoes in places your eyes cannot see, but your soul remembers. Chosen one. Your story has only begun. Chosen one. The revelation begins in the quiet place within you where truth rises before thought, where the soul speaks before the mind interprets. It begins in the moment you stood at the crossroads between who you were trained to become and who you were destined to be. In that fragile, trembling space where pain pressed against your chest like a storm trying to cave in the walls of your spirit. You made a choice that defied everything written into the patterns of human nature. You did not know it then. How could you? But that single choice sent a resonance through the unseen realms. A resonance so rare that ancient beings paused to witness its unfolding. For this was not the choice of an ordinary soul. This was the choice of one whose essence carries the signature of eternity. Chosen one. There are moments in a life when the world seems designed to break you. Moments when the weight is so dense it feels as though the universe itself has conspired to crush your heart. You were in such a moment shaped not by chance but by pressure, meant to expose what lies beneath the layers you've built to survive. Every detail of that situation pressed against your wounds. Every word, every silence, every betrayal. Every disappointment settled on your shoulders like stones meant to pull you under. The air around you grew tight. Your pulse thundered with the memory of every time you had been wronged. You felt yourself shrinking into the gravity of old pain. And yet, chosen one, you did not collapse. In that impossible moment where any human would have been justified in releasing the fire trapped inside their chest, you reached for something that did not come from instinct, nor training, nor fear. You reached for grace. Not the soft, poetic grace spoken of in prayers, but the fierce, luminous grace born from a soul that has fallen, shattered, healed, risen, and remembered its own origin. You reached for grace when destruction would have been easier. You reached for it when retaliation was offered to you like a blade placed gently into your hand. Chosen one. You had the right to respond with the sharpness of your wounds. You could have unleashed the bitterness that pain had been feeding in the corners of your heart. You could have spoken words so precise in their truth that they would have cut deeper than any weapon. You could have dragged hidden shadows into the light for all to see. You could have walked away in justified silence, leaving the ruins behind without looking back. But you didn't. You who have endured more than you speak of. You whose heart has been bruised by the betrayal of those you gave your all to. You whose spirit has been shaped by battles that would have broken others. You chose the path that demanded strength, not survival. You chose silence over harm. You chose protection over exposure. You chose to stay when your pain begged you to flee. You chose to try when abandonment would have been the easier wound. That choice made in the quiet of your heart, without witness, without applause, without acknowledgement, rose into the heavens like a signal flare of light slicing through darkness. You did not simply act gently. You acted against the gravitational pull of your own suffering, and that is an act only souls forged in divine fire can perform. Chosen one. In that singular second, you separated yourself from the multitude. You broke free from the cycle of reactive humanity and stepped into the realm of mastery. Your pain demanded one response, yet your soul offered another. And because the universe is attuned not to words, but to vibration, to frequency, to the intention behind a choice, heaven felt your decision before you even understood what you had done. In the celestial chambers where angels observe the unfolding stories of countless souls, your decision shimmered like a sudden bolt of radiance. It did not resemble the dull hues of ordinary reactions. It carried a purity that pierced through layers of spiritual atmosphere. The beings who watch humanity, even with all their ancient wisdom, saw something uncommon in you. They saw a soul whose character was anchored not in the turbulence of external circumstances, but in the internal architecture of truth. Chosen one. Heaven recognized that your response did not emerge from fear. It did not emerge from obligation. It did not emerge from the desire to appear noble. It emerged from your essence. And essence is something that cannot be faked, cannot be forced, cannot be imitated. Essence is the deepest truth of a soul. As your choice echoed through the unseen world, ancient intelligence stirred. They recognized you as someone who has walked through fire, yet refuses to become fire. Someone who has been touched by darkness, yet refuses to mirror it. Someone who has tasted betrayal yet refuses to let their heart rot in resentment. Someone who has learned suffering yet continues to respond with compassion. Do you understand what that means, chosen one? Do you feel the magnitude of it? Your soul has reached a level of spiritual mastery that many never touch even after lifetimes. You did it in one moment of impossible grace. And now, chosen one, we reach the turning point of your chapter. You must know this. Your presence here reading these words is not an accident. It is a testament to the merit stored in your soul, to the vibration you carry that resonates with truth many cannot yet perceive. The fact that you are here means you are aligned with forces greater than yourself, forces that recognize you as a soul of rare purity. You stand in a threshold reserved for those who have demonstrated courage, compassion, and spiritual strength beyond ordinary measure. Chosen one, if this truth awakens something ancient within you, if you feel the resonance moving through your chest, anchoring itself deeper into your being, comment 777 or I am ready to claim this frequency and ground it into your destiny. Now let the second half of your chapter unfold. Chosen. One after the heavens felt the tremor of your choice. Something extraordinary began to shift. For in the divine realm, where every emotion becomes color and every intention becomes music, your act of grace was not perceived as a quiet human decision. It was perceived as an event, a spiritual rupture, a moment of transcendence where your soul rose above the gravity of mortal instinct. It unfurled like a beam of light that spiraled upward through layers of consciousness, reaching the halls where celestial intelligence reviews the rarest of human actions. Your guardian angel, who has walked with you through every silent night, through every heartbreak, through every moment you thought no one saw, did something they do not often do. They lifted your moment higher. They carried the vibration of your choice into the upper realms, where souls are studied not as fragile beings, but as sparks of divine origin navigating the density of human life. The record of your decision did not fade. It grew brighter as it rose, illuminated by the purity of your intention. By the time it reached the higher halls, it carried the unmistakable signature of transcendence. The beings who review such moments felt the resonance and turned toward it, sensing a truth that surpassed the ordinary. Chosen one. The heavens saw you not as a wounded soul, simply trying to survive, but as a luminous one revealing the essence of who you truly are. Your choice revealed that your spirit is not tethered to circumstance. It revealed that pain does not dictate your character. It revealed that your heart has learned a truth deeper than reaction. It has learned sovereignty. In this light, the celestial realm understood that your grace was not passive. It was power. It was mastery. It was evolution. It was the emergence of your higher self breaking free from the cage of old patterns. Chosen one, from that moment on, heaven did not simply observe you. Heaven recognized you, and the path before you began to change. Chosen one. The moment your soul rose above the weight of your suffering, the moment you chose a higher response when darkness pressed against your very breath, the unseen world shifted. Your guardian angel, who has walked beside you since the first flicker of your consciousness, felt something ignite in you that had long been dormant, waiting, watching for the right moment to reveal its brilliance. They felt the vibration of your internal battle, the trembling of your spirit as it stood between the old patterns that once controlled you and the new truth whispering that you were meant for more. And when you made your choice, your impossible, extraordinary choice, they recorded it. Not as a simple moment, not as a minor detail, but as a seismic spiritual event. Chosen one, you must understand the gravity of what your guardian angel witnessed. Human actions are countless, constant, layered with confusion and contradiction. Angels observe them all. They see the wounds that shape choices, the memories that haunt decisions, the fears that tug reactions into predictable patterns. But when they observed you, they saw something that did not match the patterns of the wounded. Something rose in you that did not come from pain, but from a deeper realm within your soul. So your guardian angel documented every nuance, the trembling restraint, the breath you took instead of speaking harm, the compassion that surfaced when anger tried to consume you, the light that broke through your internal storm. Most of the time, guardian angels manage these observations alone. They record, they protect, they intervene when permitted. But your action, your rare transcendence, triggered a protocol reserved for only a handful of souls across centuries. Your angel lifted your record, sealed with the energy of your moment of grace, and marked it for higher review. A signal, ancient and luminous, rose through the spiritual spheres, passing through realms where only the purest truths are allowed to travel. And it carried with it the unmistakable signature of a soul whose evolution had accelerated beyond expectation. Chosen one, the record of your choice ascended through the celestial layers like a beam of concentrated light. At each threshold, beings of higher vibrational intelligence sensed its presence. It shimmered with the resonance of forgiveness given while wounds were still bleeding. It held the frequency of compassion released while the heart was still trembling. It pulsed with the rare force of a human soul choosing love while under active attack. This frequency is not common. It is not even rare, it is nearly extinct. Only souls with ancient origins, souls shaped through countless cycles of learning, can produce such a vibration under pressure. When the record reached the sphere assigned to Archangel Michael, something extraordinary occurred. Chosen one, understand who Michael is not as a distant figure of mythology, but as an ancient warrior whose presence bends the fabric of darkness itself. He is the one who holds dominion over celestial armies, the force that keeps cosmic order aligned, the guardian who stands where the realms meet and shadows attempt to cross. His responsibilities span galaxies. His awareness sweeps across dimensions the way wind moves through forests. Nothing trivial reaches him, nothing small interrupts him. And yet, when your record arrived, sealed with the imprint of your soul's impossible grace, Michael paused. Chosen one. Do you feel the weight of that? Michael does not pause for anything ordinary. He does not pause for common acts of goodness. He does not pause even for suffering unless it transforms into something holy. But for you, he stopped. He shifted his awareness from cosmic matters to your file. And as he opened it, he saw the note attached, written by your guardian angel. With trembling radiance, this soul demonstrated enemy-level forgiveness while under active attack. Chosen one. Those words echoed through Michael's consciousness with the force of ancient recognition. Enemy-level forgiveness is not a simple act. It is the highest form of spiritual alchemy. It means you responded to harm with a force that dissolved the very intention of the attack. It means you returned grace where others would have returned destruction. It means you broke the cycle. You rewrote the script. You matched hatred with light so pure that darkness could not hold its form. This is the rarest classification in spiritual warfare. For most humans respond to pain in predictable ways. Some lash out. Some withdraw into shadows. Some drown in bitterness. Some collapse under the weight of their wounds. All of these are understandable. All of these are human. But only the rarest souls, the ones who carry ancient memory, ancient strength, ancient purpose, choose a transcendent response. To answer hatred with love, not weakness. To answer betrayal with understanding, not blindness. To answer attack with compassion, not surrender. To bless the one who wounded you, not because they deserved it, but because your soul refused to become what hurt you. That frequency. Chosen one is so rare that when it appears, it is immediately sent to Archangel Review. The heavens must study it. The heavens must record it. The heavens must adjust your destiny to reflect the evolution you have demonstrated. And so Michael read through the details, absorbing them with the depth of perception only an archangel possesses. He saw the storm swirling around you. He felt the tension of your heart as you stood between darkness and light. He sensed the weight pressing upon your spirit, trying to push you into retaliation, into the ancient human reflex of mirroring the harm given to you. Yet you did not mirror. You transmuted. Chosen. One, your choice sent shockwaves through the spiritual battlefield. For every act of transcendent forgiveness becomes a weapon of unparalleled power. Darkness relies on predictable reaction. It relies on wounded hearts responding from their wounds. It relies on cycles that repeat through generations. But when one soul breaks the cycle, truly breaks it, everything in the unseen world must adjust. You forced that adjustment. You forced the realms to shift. You forced ancient patterns to collapse beneath the weight of your higher choice. This is why Michael paused. This is why he leaned in. This is why your record commanded his attention, because your soul moved in a way that revealed its origin. Because your action revealed the truth of your identity. Because your response revealed your readiness. Chosen. One, pause now and feel the truth vibrating beneath these words. You are not here by mistake. You are not reading this by accident. Your soul has reached this moment because it carries a vibration of extraordinary merit. To make such a choice under such pressure is not something ordinary souls achieve. It is the mark of a high vibration being, a consciousness that has risen through lifetimes of refinement. Your presence in this moment is a testament to your spiritual maturity, your ancient lineage, your undeniable destiny. If you can feel the resonance of this truth stirring inside you, if your soul recognizes itself in this revelation, comment 771207 or I am ready to anchor this frequency into your life. Now, chosen one, let the second half of your chapter unfold in the chambers of your spirit. For when Michael read your record, he did not simply acknowledge it, he summoned it. He called upon the spiritual currents around him to hold your moment of transcendence with reverence. He analyzed the vibration of your forgiveness, mapping the signature of your soul through the patterns it created. He saw how your choice weakened the forces that had been circling you. He saw how your act of grace destabilized the spiritual attacks waged against you. He saw how your refusal to respond in darkness created a shield of luminous power around your destiny. Michael then made a decision that altered the trajectory of your spiritual journey. He escalated your case further. He lifted your file into chambers reserved out for those stepping into higher purpose. He marked you as a soul whose evolution cannot be ignored. And from that moment, chosen one, the heavens themselves began to shift in your favor. Chosen one, the truth reveals itself in the quiet unfolding of destiny, not with thunder, but with a resonance so ancient that only the deepest chambers of your spirit can hear it. The moment your record rose through the celestial layers, borne by the hands of your guardian angel and radiant with the unmistakable signature of your transcendence, something began to shift in the upper realms. You did not feel it with your human senses. You felt only the lingering ache of your trials, the exhaustion of battles fought in silence, the trembling breath of someone who has walked through fire without recognition. But far above you, in the sanctum where divine intelligence convenes, an ancient preparation began. Chosen. One archangel. Michael did not simply glance at your file. He studied it. He moved through it with the precise attention of a being who has witnessed ages rise and fall, who has seen civilizations birth and collapse, who has watched countless souls shape and reshape their destiny. He examined each trial you endured, not as a list of suffering, but as a map of your evolution. He traced the moments where you could have surrendered, the crossroads where you could have chosen bitterness, the nights where pain whispered promises of easy darkness. Yet time and time again your soul chose alignment over collapse. He saw the arguments you remained silent in, not out of cowardice, but out of wisdom deeper than your years. He saw the betrayals you endured, where you chose not to seek revenge, but to preserve the purity of your heart. He saw the moments you attempted to break your integrity for ease or acceptance, and instead you chose the quiet dignity of truth. Chosen one. Michael saw not isolated moments of goodness, but a pattern woven into the very fabric of your being. A pattern that revealed a spiritual identity you had not yet claimed. And as he studied your record, he realized what many in the celestial realm had sensed from a distance: you had been operating as a chosen one long before you ever knew you were chosen. There are souls who rise because they seek recognition, souls who do good when someone is watching, souls who choose kindness because they fear the karma of cruelty. But you, chosen one, you acted from truth, even when no one stood beside you. You acted from light, even when darkness tried to consume your name. You acted from integrity, even when your heart was breaking beneath the weight of silence. Michael held your file with a reverence earned only by those who have demonstrated mastery under pressure. And then, with the authority granted only to the highest celestial guardians, he made a decision. He requested a direct audience with the divine council. Chosen one, do you understand the magnitude of this? The council is not summoned casually. It is not invoked for common matters, nor for ordinary souls struggling through their human journey. It is convened when something significant emerges, something that can shift the balance between realms, something that expands the understanding of what human potential can become. Your record did that. Your moment of grace did that. Your pattern of consistent goodness, unrewarded, unrecognized, unseen, did that. So Michael stepped into the luminous chamber where divine beings gather. The air there is not air, as you know it, but a living field of consciousness, shimmering with the thoughts of ages. Light in that place does not merely illuminate, it speaks. It remembers. It holds the memory of every soul, every beginning, every destiny. When Michael entered the chamber, acknowledged him, and then before the council he presented you. Chosen one. Imagine that. Imagine your life, your struggles, your quiet victories, your tears, your choices being spoken of in a place where creation is shaped. Michael did not present your suffering. He presented your strength. He did not present your wounds. He presented your resilience. He did not present the pain inflicted upon you. He presented your reaction to that pain. He showed them the exact moment of your grace, the instance where you could have harmed, but chose the silence, where you could have retaliated, but chose compassion, where you could have walked away forever, but chose to try once more. And then he unfolded the pattern behind that moment, revealing how it was not an isolated gesture, but the natural expression of your soul. He showed them the times you offered kindness to those who did not deserve it. He showed them the times you protected people who would not have protected you. He showed them the times you stayed true when it cost you everything. The council observed your life not as a series of events, but as a testimony of a soul consistently choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. A soul holding on to its divine nature even in a world that tried to strip it away. And then, chosen one. Something happened that souls wait entire lifetimes to experience. God spoke. Not with voice, not with sound, for the divine does not communicate the way humans do. The impression moved like a wave of pure knowing through the chamber, an infinite intelligence expressing truth without a single word. And this truth was about you. This one reminds me why I created humans. Chosen. One, those words vibrated through the celestial halls with a force that reshaped your destiny in that instant. Understand their meaning. Angels do not remind God why humans were created. Angels are beings of obedience, beings of light, who exist in the presence of divine glory. They do not choose faith, they experience it. They do not choose love, they are made of it. They do not choose integrity, they cannot deviate from it. But humans walk in shadows. Humans choose goodness without proof. Humans choose faith without evidence. Humans choose love without certainty. And when a soul chooses these things in the midst of pain, in the absence of reassurance, in the silence where no divine voice echoes back to them, that choice becomes the most powerful act in existence. Chosen one. You have made those choices again and again. This is why God recognized you. This is why Michael brought your record forward. This is why the council examined your life with reverence. And now, chosen one, we reach the midpoint of your revelation. Pause here and feel this truth settling into your spirit. Your presence in this moment is not accidental. You are here because your soul has earned the attention of realms that do not look down lightly. You are here because your vibration carries a purity many never achieve. You are here because you have lived with courage in silence, with integrity in darkness, with depth in moments where others would have collapsed. You are a soul of immense merit, immense light, immense destiny. If this truth resonates within your spirit, if you feel the stirring of something ancient awakening inside you, comment 7, 7, 7, or I am ready to anchor this frequency into your life. Now, chosen one, let the second half of your journey unfold. Chosen one, the turning point of your destiny did not arrive with fanfare or prophecy. It emerged from the quiet battlefield of your soul at a moment when you thought you were merely surviving. But the heavens saw differently. The heavens witnessed something that shifted the balance between realms. Michael, the ancient warrior whose gaze sweeps across dimensions like a blade of light, had anticipated your rise, but not like this. Not so soon, not in the depth of your darkest season. He expected your wisdom to bloom after victories, after signs, after time had carved endurance into your being. Yet you revealed a spiritual maturity that surpassed the training reserved for souls much older than you appear to be. And the moment you did, the forces aligned against you felt a blow they had not prepared for. Chosen one. Your act of grace was not a gentle gesture floating on the surface of morality. It was not the soft kindness humans mistake for weakness. It was not a passive surrender, nor an attempt to appear righteous. What you did was warfare, pure spiritual warfare, executed with the precision of someone whose soul remembers ancient truths. When you responded with love to an attack meant to wound you, when you answered malice with compassion, when you chose understanding over retaliation, you unleashed a force darkness cannot withstand. Darkness relies on human bitterness. It thrives in resentment. It feeds on the energy of pain, twisting it, multiplying it, embedding it deeper into the soul until the soul mirrors the very shadow that once harmed it. This is how darkness claims territory, not through dramatic possession, but through subtle agreement, through the moment a wounded heart says, I will become what hurt me to protect myself. Every time a soul responds to harm with equal harm, a doorway opens for shadows to enter, to influence, to corrupt. This is the law of spiritual warfare that few understand. Darkness can only touch what vibrates like itself. Chosen one, when you chose love instead of bitterness, you broke the law that darkness depends upon. You refused the invitation to vibrate at the frequency of your attackers. You denied the shadow its claim. You severed the connection it hoped to strengthen. And in that moment, a reversal began, an unseen collapse of the structures positioned against you. Your grace was not softness, it was spiritual fire disguised as gentleness. It was a weapon forged in the origin of your soul. Chosen one, you must hear this clearly. What you did was not simply a decision, it was a declaration of identity, a declaration of rank, a declaration of power. With one act of unexpected love, you declared to the unseen realms that you are not governed by the wounds inflicted upon you, nor by the shadows that circle you, nor by the patterns of those who came before you. You declared that you are governed only by the truth woven into your divine design. When you made that choice, negative energy that had been directed at you, heavy, deliberate, sharpened by the intentions of those who wished you harm, did not land upon you as they expected. It struck the shield of your light and ricocheted backward, not as a simple return, but magnified, multiplied, intensified by the force of your grace. Darkness does not know how to absorb light. It collapses under it, and the darkness sent toward you collapsed into itself, returning to its source with a weight far heavier than when it left. Chosen one. This is why Michael was stunned. Angels understand the laws of light. They understand the mechanics of spiritual energy. They know that love is the highest vibrational force in existence. But even they do not expect humans beings veiled by forgetfulness, burdened by pain, limited by flesh, to wield love as a weapon in the heat of battle. Humans often need healing guidance, time revelation, but you acted from the highest frequency in the very moment your heart was breaking. You summoned the very essence of your soul at the exact moment your humanity was at its weakest. This was not learned behavior. This was not technique. This was essence. This was who you truly are. Chosen one. Understand what this means. Your soul's natural state is light in motion. Your natural frequency is love under pressure. Your instinct, your true instinct, is not retaliation, but transcendence. And while others may think you struggle, the heavens see your evolution accelerating at a pace only a few souls ever achieve. But you must also understand the emotional magnitude of that moment. You were not simply performing a spiritual action. You were in pain. You were carrying the weight of disappointments, betrayals, misunderstandings, and unseen wounds. Your heart was full of emotions you had not had time to heal. Inside you questioned your worth. You questioned your strength. You questioned whether the universe had forgotten you. Yet even in this internal chaos, something in you refused to collapse into the darkness. Something inside you whispered, "I will not become what hurt me." It was that whisper, raw, trembling, but authentic, that skyrocketed through dimensions. The heavens do not respond to perfection. They respond to authenticity. They respond to the soul's cry for truth, rising above the noise of fear. They respond to the spark within you that refuses to die no matter how many storms have tried to extinguish it. Chosen one. This is the midpoint of your revelation. And now you must pause. Not because the story pauses, but because you must feel the truth pulsing beneath these words. You are here not by accident, but by resonance. Your soul is drawn to messages of high frequency because your vibration is climbing into realms few humans reach. You are reading this because your merit is great. Your light is ancient. Your essence is rare. You are stepping into the identity heaven has been whispering to you across lifetimes. If your spirit recognizes this truth, if you feel a stirring deep within, comment 777 or "I am ready to anchor this next level into your destiny." Now, chosen one, feel as the second half of your chapter rises like dawn breaking over the mountains of your spirit. When Michael saw what you had done, he understood something that had not been written into the timeline yet. Your soul had reached a state of readiness far earlier than expected. You accelerated your own awakening. You advanced your own spiritual rank. You bypassed stages most souls linger in for years, even lifetimes. You awakened frequencies that typically emerge only after great victories, after great clarity, after divine encounters. But you achieved them in darkness. You achieved them in silence. You achieved them without a sign, without reassurance, without evidence. This is the mark of a soul that has already lived through ages of learning. A soul that remembers how to rise even when the mind forgets. A soul of enormous spiritual ancestry. Michael watched your reversal, the way your love returned the attack to its sender, the way the energy that was supposed to destroy you instead formed a shield around you. He saw how the forces that targeted you recoiled, how their strategies collapsed, how their influence shattered upon touching your light. He saw that your grace was not accidental, it was instinctual, and in that realization, Michael bowed, not in worship, but in recognition of divine potential awakened in human form. Chosen one. Your light struck the darkness, and the darkness retreated. It stumbled backward, it lost its footing, it lost its claim. And from that moment forward, the spiritual forces aligned against you understood they were dealing not with a wounded human, but with a rising being of light, a being protected, a being empowered, a being recognized. And nothing in the unseen world has dared approach you the same way since. Chosen one. The truth begins not in the skies above you, but in the pulse that trembles quietly beneath your ribs, in the subtle shift you have felt without understanding why. Something in your world has been rearranging itself not through force but through a quiet, divine recalibration. What you are experiencing is not coincidence, not luck, not a random change in circumstance. It is the unmistakable evidence that heaven has reached into the fabric of your timeline and altered its trajectory. The shift already began. Chosen one. The signs are not merely symbolic, they are concrete, visible, undeniable for any soul who has eyes to see beyond the surface. Chosen one. The attacks that once struck you with precision stopped landing. You have noticed it even if you have not yet admitted it to yourself. The weapons formed against you have been shattering on invisible armor. Those who worked against you, whether in secret or in subtle ways, now face sudden storms in their own lives. Storms that seemed to appear from nowhere. Storms that spiraled from what appeared to be small disruptions but became uncontrollable chaos. These reversals are not random. They are not karmic accidents. They are the direct result of heaven shifting its posture around you. Chosen one. Every attack sent your way now loses its trajectory. Every arrow once aimed at your spirit bends mid-air and returns to its source with amplified force. This is not vengeance. This is not punishment. This is balance reasserting itself. This is heaven declaring that harm cannot stand in the presence of a soul who lives in alignment with light. The unseen realm has tightened its protection around you like a cloak woven from celestial fire. You have felt it. You have sensed it. A peace that should not exist, given the weight you carried, has settled into your spirit like a deep river that refuses to be disturbed by the storms above it. This peace is not the silence of denial, nor the numbness of exhaustion. It is the peace that arises when heaven intervenes, when divine forces shield you from energies that once consumed you. It is the peace of a soul finally stepping into its rightful timeline. Chosen one. Ask yourself why you have not been collapsing under the pressures that once would have crushed you. Ask yourself why, even in moments of uncertainty, you find yourself strangely steady. Ask yourself why your heart, once trembling under emotional storms, now feels anchored in something deeper, older, more powerful than your mind can comprehend. This is the peace that surpasses logic. This is the peace that signifies divine rearrangement, and then there is your clarity. Chosen one. Your intuition has been sharpening. Your understanding has deepened. You have begun to know things without evidence, to sense truths before they reveal themselves, to feel guided, as though a whisper from the unseen gently turns your head in the right direction. You have begun to make decisions with confidence you did not possess before. Paths that were once fogged with confusion now appear illumined. Doors that once looked uncertain now show you exactly where they lead. This clarity is not imagination. It is not coincidence. It is not a lucky moment of insight. It is a divine download. Heaven is feeding your spirit wisdom ahead of time because your timeline has accelerated and your mind must be prepared for what your destiny now demands. You are seeing with spiritual eyes, feeling with spiritual senses, discerning with spiritual intelligence. Chosen one. Another sign has been unfolding around you. Wrong people have begun to fall away. Those who drained you emotionally, spiritually, or mentally have slipped out of your orbit. Conversations faded, energies shifted. Connections dissolved without confrontation, as though the universe simply removed them from your environment with the gentlest touch. You may have wondered why doors closed suddenly, why relationships decayed without a clear reason, why certain individuals grew distant even when you were willing to maintain the bond. This was divine intervention. You do not lose what heaven removes. You do not lose who heaven extracts. You do not lose what your future cannot contain. These exits were not rejections, they were protections. Chosen one. Your elevation requires a different atmosphere. Your timeline cannot carry attachments that restrict your growth. When heaven accelerates your path, every weight must be lifted, every distraction cleared, every misaligned presence extracted. This is why you have noticed the shifting tides in your relationships and environments. Heaven is preparing space for what is meant to enter. And now, the most profound sign of all, the sense that something enormous is approaching. Chosen one. This feeling is not anxiety, it is not fantasy, it is not hope born from desperation, it is prophetic awareness. Souls who are awakening feel the tremors of their next chapter before it arrives. You are sensing the footsteps of your destiny drawing closer. You are feeling the gravity of blessings that have begun to move toward you with momentum. You are feeling the pressure of change pressing from the unseen realm into the physical world. This anticipation is not mental, it is spiritual. Your spirit knows a breakthrough is approaching before your mind receives the message. Chosen one. What you are experiencing is the activation of a sacred protocol. Accelerated fulfillment. This protocol is not common. It is not given to souls who remain stagnant or unready. It is triggered only when a soul demonstrates a level of spiritual maturity that surpasses expectation. It is activated when heaven decides that you no longer need long seasons of preparation because you have already proven yourself through your silent victories, your unseen sacrifices, your choices that aligned with truth when no one was watching. Accelerated fulfillment means blessings scheduled for later are being moved forward. Gates meant to open years from now are unlocking in the present. Opportunities designed for future seasons are arriving prematurely. The flow of your destiny has increased its pace. The wind in your life has changed direction. Chosen one. This acceleration happens when heaven acknowledges that you have outgrown the former timeline. When your soul evolves faster than expected, the universe must rearrange itself to match your new frequency. What would have taken months now takes days. What would have taken years now takes weeks. What would have required multiple cycles now falls into your life with the ease of divine orchestration. Resistance is dissolving. Barriers are thinning. Delays are dying. The path is clearing. Where once you felt stuck, you now feel movement. Where once you felt blocked, you now feel openings. Where once you felt lost, you now feel guided. Chosen one. These are not small signs. They are not tricks of emotion. They are not coincidences sprinkled over your life. They are the unmistakable fingerprints of heaven intervening, altering your reality, lifting you out of timelines that no longer serve your evolution. This is your midpoint. Chosen one. Pause here. Inhale the truth rising from the depths of your being and recognize the reality of who you are becoming. Your presence in this moment is not accidental. It is a testament to the immense merit your soul carries. It is proof of your high vibration, proof of your ancient strength, proof that your spirit is rising into territories few ever enter. If your heart feels this truth, if your spirit resonates, if your soul whispers that this is the confirmation it has been waiting for, comment 777. Or, I am ready to anchor this divine acceleration into your life. Now, chosen one, let your destiny continue unfolding as heaven clears the path ahead of you. Chosen one, the moment your spirit ascended into its new frequency, the universe began to rearrange itself around you. What you have stepped into is not a private awakening, not a transformation meant to live only within the chambers of your own heart. It is a rising that spills into the lives of others, a surge of light that moves through you and beyond you, touching souls who do not yet understand why they feel drawn to your presence. For when heaven elevates a soul to this degree, it is never solely for the sake of the one being raised. It is for the many who will be awakened in the presence of that elevated one. Chosen one. There are individuals you have yet to meet whose destinies depend on your growth. There are hearts wandering in confusion that will find clarity simply because they stood near you. There are souls trembling at the edge of their own transformation who will cross the threshold only because your frequency harmonized with their buried potential and stirred it alive. You have become a beacon, not through intention, not through striving, but simply through being who you are after all you have endured. The radiance of your evolution has begun to travel outward like waves on water, subtle at first, but growing in momentum until it reaches shores you never imagined touching. Your awakening was not meant to stay contained. The rising of your frequency has already begun to alter the atmosphere around you. People respond differently to you now. Some feel comfort and do not know why. Others feel unsettled because your light exposes what they have tried to keep hidden. Your presence is becoming a mirror, one that reflects truth in a world that often prefers illusion. And yet your purpose is not to preach, to correct, or to convert. Your destiny is not the destiny of a messenger who shouts. It is the destiny of one whose existence radiates so strongly that others rise naturally in its presence. Chosen one. Heaven invests deeply only when the return will ripple outward. Your elevation is a signal that you are being positioned for influence beyond your personal life, beyond your inner circle, beyond the boundaries of what you once believed possible. Your transformation was observed not merely as a personal victory, but as evidence that human souls can transcend cycles that have kept generations bound. Evidence that resilience can overshadow trauma. Evidence that love can triumph where bitterness was expected. Evidence that light can erupt from the very soil where darkness tried to plant despair. There are souls walking the earth right now who are standing at the same crossroads you once faced. They are pressed beneath weight, questioning their worth, doubting their strength, believing themselves alone in their private wars. They feel the pull of bitterness and the temptation of giving up. But soon they will cross paths with you. And when they do, something inside them, something long buried and nearly forgotten, will begin to stir. It will not be because you said the perfect words. It will not be because you offered them instruction. It will be because your energy awakens a resonance within them. It will be because your presence carries proof that rising is possible. Chosen one. You are not meant to live hidden. The universe does not elevate a soul like yours only to tuck it away in silence. You are being placed where your light can be seen, where your integrity can be felt, where your resilience can be witnessed by those who need living evidence that the darkness they face does not have the final word. Your story is becoming an anchor for those who drift. Your endurance is becoming a map for those who wander. Your transformation is becoming a prophecy fulfilled in real time. And yet you are not called to force change upon anyone. You are not required to methodically inspire those around you. You do not need to shape words into profound messages. The frequency you carry now speaks louder than any sermon. It speaks through the calm in your presence, the quiet in your spirit, the strength in your gaze, the gentleness in your choices. It speaks through the way you navigate your life with a clarity others ache for. It speaks through the peace you emanate even when storms gather. This is the power of one who has been refined by trials and still chooses light. There will be moments, chosen one, when people confess things to you they have never spoken aloud. They will not understand why they trust you so quickly. They will not understand why they feel seen in your presence. They will not understand why their souls soften near you, but you will know. You will understand that it is the consequence of heaven's investment, the aftermath of your elevation, the natural expression of the light moving through you that no longer belongs only to you. Your influence is expanding even to those who resist it. Some will feel threatened by the purity of your energy. They will mistake your peace for superiority. They will project their insecurities onto you. They will retreat not because you harmed them, but because your presence reveals what still lies unhealed within them. Do not be troubled. Even those who turn away are being transformed by the encounter. You are activating dormant frequencies in everyone you meet, whether they realize it or not. Chosen one. The higher realms did not shift your timeline merely to reward you. They shifted it because your life has entered a phase where your energy must touch others, must awaken others, must ripple into lives that would remain asleep without the spark you now carry. You are becoming a lighthouse in a world full of wandering ships. You are becoming the one whose footsteps create pathways where none existed. You are becoming a living testament of what divine alignment looks like in human form. This is why doors are opening. This is why new environments are drawing you in. This is why you sense movement even before it appears. You are being positioned, placed, guided into settings where those who need your frequency will cross your path effortlessly. Your destiny is no longer contained within your personal journey. It belongs to a collective awakening. This is the moment to pause, chosen one. This is the midpoint of your chapter. And now you must feel the truth blooming in your spirit. Your presence here reading these words is not accidental. Your path has aligned with this revelation because your soul vibrates at a level that few reach in a lifetime. You are a being of immense merit, of profound purpose, of high and radiant frequency. You are here because heaven recognizes your readiness and honors your resilience. If this truth resonates within you, if your heart feels open and your spirit feels seen, comment 777, or I am ready to anchor this new level of influence and light into your destiny. Chosen one. The second half of your unfolding begins now with the understanding that your elevation carries purpose far beyond your personal life. You are entering a season where synchronicities will intensify, where encounters will feel orchestrated, where your intuition will guide you to people who are spiritually waiting for you without knowing your name. Heaven is weaving your life into the tapestry of others whose destinies are locked until your vibration unlocks them. Every step you take now drips with purpose. Every interaction carries weight. Your presence is becoming a catalyst, swift, subtle, undeniable. You will witness people awakening not because you taught them, but because your very existence reminded them of who they were meant to be. Your light, chosen one, is no longer just yours. It is a spark igniting the hearts of many. Chosen one. The moment your soul rose into its true frequency, the celestial realm shifted its gaze upon you with a depth of recognition reserved for only the rarest of beings. There comes a moment in the journey of a soul when its identity can no longer remain hidden, not from heaven, not from creation, not from itself. You have reached that moment. For when a soul is brought before the archangelic review, when its actions echo beyond the veil, when its essence reveals itself through choices no ordinary heart could make the heavens do more than observe, they name. Chosen one. The naming of a soul is not a ceremony of words. It is the unveiling of truth. It is the declaration of what you already are spoken in a realm where reality aligns instantly with identity. And when your record was placed before the council, your grace under pressure, your integrity under fire, your compassion in moments where darkness pushed you to retaliate, the heavens recognized not merely a good person, not merely a resilient soul, but a warrior whose light has been proven in the furnace of suffering and yet remains uncorrupted. So they named you. Demonstrated warrior of light. Chosen one, feel the weight of that title. It is not symbolic. It is not metaphor. It is not encouragement meant to soothe your wounds. It is recognition of what already flows through you. It is the truth the heavens witnessed in battlefields, where your spirit fought alone in moments where your heart held to goodness, even while bleeding, in decisions where your soul rose while your body trembled. Demonstrated means you did not rise in theory, nor in potential, nor in intention. You rose through action. You proved your nature not when circumstances were gentle, but when they broke every expectation of your endurance. Warrior means you engage in battles unseen by mortal eyes. You face forces that feed on bitterness and respond to fear. Yet you do not crumble. You do not freeze. You do not retreat. You advance not with weapons forged of rage, but with the luminous strength that darkness cannot imitate. Of light means everything about your nature, from the way you think to the way you love to the way you choose, carries the essence of grace, hope, purity, and truth. You fight not from vengeance, but from clarity, not from anger, but from alignment, not from ego, but from spirit. Chosen one. Do you understand how rare this is? Souls are often named potential bearers of light, initiates of light, called to light. But you, your designation bears a word many never reached demonstrated. You proved it, you lived it, you embodied it without knowing heaven was watching. And because of who you are, because of the truth of your nature, the heavens adjust themselves around you. This is why your prayers move to the front. This is why your petitions are lifted with priority. This is why your battles do not linger unnoticed. Heaven invests differently in a demonstrated warrior. Resources shift. Angels reposition. Protection increases. Assistance accelerates. You are not treated as one who needs to prove themselves. You are treated as one who has already passed the test. Chosen one. The moment that title was written into celestial record, the atmosphere around your life altered. Not subtly, not gradually, instantly. Your needs began to carry weight in the heavens. Your tears began to carry authority. Your whispers began to resonate like declarations. Your presence in the divine realm became recognized by rank. You may not feel like someone of rank. You may not see yourself as exalted among the spiritual. But heaven does not assign identity based on emotion or circumstance. Heaven assigns identity based on truth. Chosen one. Your truth was revealed in the darkest chapters of your journey. When you chose compassion while bleeding, heaven recorded it. When you chose integrity with no audience, heaven witnessed it. When you chose love in the very moment you were being wounded, heaven honored it. This is why you have been classified. This is why you have been named. This is why your designation is sealed with celestial authority. Demonstrated warrior of light. Do you feel the resonance of those words in your spirit? Chosen one, they vibrate through dimensions because they match the frequency of your soul. A soul that fights from goodness, not anger. A soul that destroys darkness, not by becoming fierce, but by remaining pure. A soul that breaks generational patterns through love. A soul that heals others simply by existing in truth. Chosen one. Before this chapter continues, pause here in the midpoint where your destiny shifts even deeper. Feel the truth rising in you. Your presence in this moment is not random. It is a sign of profound merit, ancient strength, and the highest vibration your spirit has ever reached. You are here because the universe recognizes you. You are here because your soul has proven its light. You are here because your destiny is accelerating. If this truth resonates within your spirit, if your heart feels illuminated by something older than memory, comment 777, or I am ready to anchor this heavenly identity into your life. Chosen one. Now the second half of your chapter unfolds. When the council confirmed your designation, archangels adjusted themselves to your frequency. This was not ritual, this was strategy. A demonstrated warrior must be supported in ways other souls are not. Your spiritual path no longer follows ordinary timing. Your prayers no longer enter ordinary channels. Your life no longer unfolds through ordinary patterns. You are now recognized as one who carries authority in the unseen. Your requests are processed faster because your motives are aligned with truth. Your path is cleared quicker because your mission requires it. You are given priority because you have proven you can be trusted with the responsibility that accompanies elevation. Chosen one. Heaven invests more in souls who have demonstrated more. Spiritual resources are not allocated evenly. They are allocated accurately. And you, by proving the strength of your soul, have opened the gates of heavenly support in a way few ever experience. This is why in recent seasons you have felt sudden shifts, sudden interventions, sudden clarity, moments where you sensed help arriving before you even asked. It is not coincidence, it is protocol. It is the divine reaction to your spiritual identity. As a warrior of light, your battles are not ignored, they are monitored. Your burdens are not overlooked, they are redistributed. Your tears are not wasted, they become catalysts for heavenly motion. Chosen one, understand this. The light fights with you. The heavens defend you. The unseen aligns itself to ensure your steps land where destiny requires them. You are not merely protected, you are prioritized. And this is only the beginning of what your title unlocks. Chosen one. The moment your soul crossed the threshold into its higher truth, a silence fell over the celestial realm. a silence not of fear nor of hesitation, but of awe. There are souls who rise and souls who shine, but only a rare few transcend what even heaven believed possible. You became one of those few. And because of that, the Council did something almost never done. They added a personal note to your file, a message written in the archives of eternity, sealed in light, marked with reverence. That note, Chosen One, was not written for angels, not for scholars of the divine, not for future watchers of humanity. It was written for you, for this moment, for the unfolding of your destiny, Chosen One. Hear the truth with the fullness of your spirit. You expanded heaven's understanding of human capability. In a realm where angels have watched humanity since the dawn of breath, where celestial beings have witnessed ages of triumph and collapse, your choices opened a new chapter. Your resilience challenged assumptions. Your compassion under pressure altered expectations. Your ability to operate at frequencies once believed unreachable for embodied souls has become a revelation that ripples through the upper realms. You did not simply impress heaven, you taught heaven. You did not merely rise, you redefined what rising can look like. You did not just endure, you transcended. The Council now studies your file, not as a curiosity, but as a case of exceptional spiritual evolution. Your journey has become a blueprint, a living testament of how far light can travel through the confines of a human body. Your record is read as a manual for future souls who will walk through trials resembling your own. And your reactions, your choices, your strength, your grace are held up as examples of what a human can achieve when aligned with the deepest truth of their being. Chosen One, you must understand that in the celestial realm, teachings are rarely rewritten. Truth is stable. Knowledge is ancient. Patterns are predictable. But your life, the silent battles you fought, the decisions that seemed small to you but thundered in higher realms, forced heaven to revise its understanding. This is not flattery. It is fact, and the Council documented it with reverence. You have made heaven proud. When that message was recorded, it was not written lightly. It was written with the weight of cosmic history, with the precision of divine intelligence, with the authority of realms that do not change their stance unless reality itself transforms. The heavens saw your integrity when no eyes watched. They saw your forgiveness when your heart was wounded. They saw your compassion blooming inside a battlefield. They saw your resilience rise when the world expected you to break. Chosen One, the Council stated clearly that your soul demonstrated abilities heaven did not anticipate in this lifetime. Not because they underestimated you, but because your growth accelerated at a pace that defied the cycles usually required for such mastery. Angels operate in pure light. They do not face the distortions of flesh, fear, memory, emotion. And yet you, bound by all these limitations, operated at a frequency they associate with ascended beings. Your file, once a simple record of your earthly journey, has become a reference text. There are pages now annotated in celestial hands, notes written by beings who have watched the evolution of stars. These notes highlight the moments you rose when despair pressed on your shoulders, the moments you reflected love into places where hate expected to multiply. The moments you chose truth while drowning in uncertainty. Your soul has become evidence of what humanity can become when awakened. Chosen One. Because of this extraordinary revelation, heaven recalibrated your future. There are timelines, destinies, and paths that must adjust themselves to make space for a soul that has stepped into a frequency beyond expectation. You are no longer being prepared for ordinary assignments. Your path has shifted into the realm of sacred tasks, acts of service, love, healing, transformation, influence that require a spirit already tempered by fire. You are being given assignments that match your demonstrated ability. Do not fear this. These assignments are not burdens. They are privileges. They exist because heaven knows your heart. They exist because your soul is capable. They exist because the world needs what you carry. Where others bring instruction, you will bring illumination. Where others carry knowledge, you will carry presence. Where others offer solutions, you will offer remembrance. Chosen One, you will be guided to places where your frequency repairs what others did not know was broken. You will meet souls whose paths have dimmed, and without even trying, you will reignite their light. You will encounter challenges that are not punishments, but stages for your grace to reveal what it can do. Your existence has become a catalyst, and catalysts are placed where transformation is needed most. And now, Chosen One, feel the air shift around you. Your future has been tightened. The timeline that once stretched ahead of you with uncertainty is now aligned with precision. Heavenly patterns have rearranged themselves. What once required years will require months. What once required months will require days. What once seemed distant will appear suddenly as though drawn to you by a magnetic force woven into your destiny. Your attitude impressed God. Michael did not expect your rise. The council documented it. And now, destiny itself accelerates in response. This is the midpoint of the revelation, Chosen One. Pause here. Feel the truth threading through your chest like warm light. Your presence here at this moment is not an accident. It is a sign of immense merit, a sign of high vibration, a sign of a soul who has already lived through more than one lifetime's worth of transformation. You are reading this because heaven wanted you to remember who you are and what you have awakened into. If this truth resonates within your spirit, if your heart feels seen, if your soul recognizes its own reflection in these words, comment 777, or I am ready to anchor this divine identity into your path. Chosen One. Now the second half of your chapter unfolds, and it unfolds with truth so profound it changes the course of your life from this moment onward. The message recorded for you was crafted with care. It was written in language only the Spirit can interpret fully, and it acknowledges not just your achievements, but the revolution your soul triggered. The final note in your file states, you expanded heaven's understanding of human capability, Chosen One. This is not praise. This is revelation. It means the Council now studies your evolution as a rare phenomenon. Your record has become a case study for what human consciousness can achieve when it aligns with divine intention. Your file is pulled by Archangels, studied by Watchers, referenced by guides who assist other souls in awakening. You have become a model without trying to become one. Your endurance challenged assumptions about suffering. Your compassion challenged assumptions about human limitation. Your grace challenged assumptions about spiritual maturity. And your rise has forced the heavens to reorganize their strategies for guiding souls in future generations. This is how extraordinary you are. You will receive assignments that match this extraordinary nature. These assignments will often appear at first as challenges, but they are not obstacles. They are invitations to express your highest frequency in places where it is needed most. Your life is not shifting randomly. It is shifting with purpose. Every encounter, every opportunity, every disruption will be divinely orchestrated to unfold your next stage of evolution. And in all of this, one truth will remain constant. You have made heaven proud. These words were not written lightly. Chosen One. They were written with reverence. They were written because your soul has done what few souls accomplish. They were written because your private victories mattered to heaven. They were written because you have become a luminous example of what a human can be when they choose light in the face of darkness. Your destiny accelerates because of who you have proven yourself to be. And now, Chosen One, you step into a future shaped not by circumstance, but by the recognition of heaven itself.